Закончил я запись на том, что мне грубо отказали в приеме в Синод. Ну, сказали зайти попозже. Так как я в Бруму никогда не играл, я не оставляю надежды, что это правда, и, может быть, действительно можно будет зайти попозже и вступить. А пока я посмотрю, что еще тут можно сделать. Что еще можно сделать? Ну вот Fighters Guild, да? Очевидно, по-моему. Стоит зайти, разумеется. Есть кто живой? Алле? Не понял. А, вот.
Can I help you?
Да, вот не знаю. Ну-ка.
Hello. Sorry, but we're not looking for new members right now. The Nibonese branch is currently undergoing strict internal reforms. Check back soon, though. It's not something I can discuss with someone outside of the guild. That's a good question. One I don't hear often enough from the other members in our hall. The Fighters Guild is here to serve those who need our help. If their coin is good enough, their fights become our fights, and we'll take our steel to their enemies. But it's more than that. I don't think I can explain it to you unless you see it for yourself. It's that look in a husband's eyes when you bring his wife back into his arms. Being able to help the people of Cyrodiil to change their lives for the better is what this is all about. Well, then we don't help them. It's not a flawless system. Nothing is without its faults, but I just wish there was something more I could do.
Не озвучен. Не озвучен диалог этот. Так, ну а ты что здесь делаешь?
I lead this hall. It's my task to make sure it's up to the standards set by Master Goltinius and Champion Cyrus. It's also my responsibility to try and control Aranir and Ionala. A monumental calling, believe me. Oh, they get along like a log cabin set ablaze. The only problem is the result is just as devastating. They can be quite the handful, let's say, especially when they're intoxicated. We're trying to increase public awareness, make sure people know who to come to if they want their contracts completed. But we'll need to step up our presence if that's to happen. Here, take these posters. Put them up in prominent positions around Bruma. Once you've got them all up, return to me, and I'll have some coin waiting for you.
Меня и здесь, похоже, послали куда подальше. И тоже, говорит, заходи потом. Так, а... Ну ладно, я сначала развешу эти постеры. Куда идти-то? Большое количество стрелочек всегда меня смущает. А, это этот придурочный. А, вот. Первый постер. Так.
I promise. I won't. Bless you, madam. Bless you. See you around.
For County Bruma.
Рекрутинг? Вы же только что мне отказали.
It's so bright out here.
Это как вот это называется? Просто мы плюнули в рожу. Мы, говорит, тебя не возьмем, но, говорит, повесь объявление, что мы, в принципе, ищем народ. Ну, ты-то уж там совсем никакой, типа. Да. Давакина, говорит, не возьмем. И этого начальника, соратников, нафиг он нужен там. Просто рекрутов поищем там каких-то. В принципе, понятно, что любой человек лучше, чем Давакин. Куда я сейчас иду? Вот. Тут, кстати, столько домов. Я особо даже не смотрел, что за дома тут. Ну куда? Где? А, во. Вот. И еще один постер. Крутинг они, нифига себе. Ну так унизить-то. Мы еще никогда так в игре не унижали.
Be careful, traveler.
Ну, в этой не унижали. Так. Вернуться. Свенья Стронг Арм. Наташа хилые ручки. О, народ появился.
Excellent. Not exactly usual Fighters Guild work, but critical if we're to grow our services. Unfortunately, the posters probably won't last long. Rough weather. Oh well. Here's your coin. It's good to see a familiar face around here, friend. What can I do for you? Sorry, but we're not looking for new members right now. The Nibonese branch is currently undergoing strict internal reforms.
Безобразие.
Hello? I offer archery training for a price to any who wish to learn and fight for coin and glory. Other than that, what more is there to do? Other than drink some fine ale at the tavern, of course. This is the city of my ancestors. My family has been here for generations. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Talk to you later.
Ничего. Так, а ты кто? А, ты это и есть. Свинья. Наташа хиленькие ручки. Так, а ты кто?
Ifra's bones, what in oblivion do you want? Fight, kill, train. What, you were expecting something else? Bug Svenja instead. Used to be part of a mercenary company down in Valenwood. We were good. One of the best and most feared companies in all the provinces. Yeah, you could say that. The Great War came. Things got bad. Pay was poor, jobs were dangerous. Commander tried turning against an employer, tried to swindle them. It didn't end well, and now I'm here, doing the only thing I know how to do. Tough? Of course it was tough, but so am I. I tire of this topic. Is there anything else you need?
Так, а если
Used to be part of a mercenary company down
по-другому
in
задать
Valenwood.
вопросы?
We were good. One of the best and most... Yeah, you could say that. The Great War came. Things...
Так, одно и
It
то же
didn't end well.
отвечает.
And now I'm here, doing the only... And now I'm bound by a charter so long I could wipe my ass with it 1,000 times. At least the Nibonese branch is better than those coddled fools in Colovia.
Colovia?
Cyrus is a tough champion that runs this place right. I tire of this topic. Is there anything else you need?
Где это Коловия это?
Used to be
еще
part of
раз.
the Mercenary company down in Valenwood. We were good. One of the best and most... The Great War came. Commander tried to...
На все
It
три
didn't end
вопроса
well.
он отвечает
And now I'm
одинаково.
here, doing the only... Don't mention it. I just love helping incredibly nosy people when I could be doing other things instead.
Так, ничего полезного не сказал.
It's cold, harsh, and there's plenty of opportunity for work thanks to the low member count. I like it. What does it mean? It doesn't mean anything. We're fighters, mercenaries, hired blades. We butcher and kill for money and wine. Ha! With that attitude, I'd be more than happy to help you. Unfortunately, Cyrus has closed recruitment while the guild goes through some reforms. Those fence-sitters in Colovia are still recruiting, but who wants to fight with uncommitted bastards like them anyway?
Так.
What about them? They're soft. Their training is lax, and they'd probably find a scuffle with a skeever to be the fight of their lives. You don't send a Colovian guild member to do a true fighter's job. Let's just leave it there. What about them? You fall over and bang your head on a rock or something? Or have you just been living under one? The guild's been split since the Great War because the Colovians were too scared to fight the Thalmor. Svenja could probably tell you the history better than I could, though. Meaning, go ask Svenja.
Так, ну все,
See
я
you.
вроде у него спросил.
Hello. Because this guild hall belongs to the Nibonese Fighters Guild. The Colovian halls have been part of a separate branch since just after the Great War. That's a lot of bad blood I'd rather not get into. Let's just say it's a dark chapter in the guild's history, and there was a large divide in philosophy. Just like an axe cutting into wood. Leaving already? Alright.
Не появилось у меня там. Где эти Коловия? Как они их называют-то? Ну-ка. Есть они где-нибудь тут или... А это что такое? Вот о чем они вообще говорили? Фиг их знает. Так, ну ладно, кто тут еще-то у нас есть? С этими я поговорил. Внизу кто-то. Так, наверху, кстати, не появилось никого. В подвал, значит, надо заглянуть. А что, есть кто, нет? Блин. Ну. Ну и тут нет ничего. Где все остальные люди-то? Так, а если подождать чуть-чуть? Ну так, не особо чуть-чуть, а так. Нормально подождать. Может, появится еще кто?
Can I help? Good
Это я
morning.
говорил уже обо всем.
Come back and tell me of your exploits.
What now?
Hello.
Не, никого не появляется.
I just can't believe Valerius is gone. It just doesn't seem real, you know?
Нет, нет никого.
Leave me alone, would you?
Hello?
Well met, Rilja.
Well, this is a bit of a surprise. What brings you to my stall?
Bannis's birthday is coming up soon. My wife says he likes your little trinkets, so I was thinking of buying a couple for him.
With all due respect, sir, these aren't just trinkets. They're cultural artifacts and...
Rilja, please. Just sell me a knick-knack
hello.
that my boy would like, understand?
How do you
I
do?
see. Well, here.
What
I'm
is
sure
it?
he'd love this old dagger. It's
Yes,
dull,
dearie.
so he won't hurt himself either.
Great.
Фига вы
I'll
тут
take it.
налетели, вас тут сколько?
Thank you for your service, Rilja.
Right. It's been a pleasure.
Have you come to learn or just to bother an old collector?
Ancient Nordic ornaments, weapons,
Oh,
armor,
absolutely.
you name it,
I collect
I have
anything
it.
Nordic, whether it be a crafted artifact or a spoken story. Some may call it an odd hobby, but I'm proud to preserve my people's ancestry.
An
Lord
interesting
Artifacts,
question
get a
with
slice
an
of
interesting
Skyrim right
tale
here
to
in
follow.
Cyrodiil.
You see, the names of Nordic clans are earned, not simply given. Each name has a meaning, each meaning a story. Our clan was once a small group of farmers in Windhelm in an era long before
Nordic
this one.
heritage, Nordic culture,
We were a poor
Nordic
lot
metalwork.
and could barely pull enough roots out of the ground to make a living. But one among our clan, an exceptionally bright young man, had a plan to help us till the icy soil of the north. He left the farm and traveled to Whiterun to learn from the best smiths in the province. He studied there for many years before returning.
He brought with him a plow of tempered steel so bright and gleaming that it shone like pure silver in the sunlight. The metal was tough and sharp enough to tear through the frosty earth, and light enough to be carried by even the lamest of ponies. The farm and the clan, my clan, flourished, and was thereafter known as Silver Plow. It just goes to show that not all great clans and warriors survive by tackling their problems head on. Sometimes you've got to use your brain more than your blade. Why, you honor me with your compliments. Thank you, thank you. Come back any time for more lore or history.
Подожди, ты еще что скажешь?
Are
Хорошего
you
хоть?
looking for my husband Ralgar? He's
I heard Cetus got a new shipment from Skyrim. I wonder if he has any new Nordic artifacts.
Ну, чё так тихо-то на сей раз?
See you. Yes, dearie. Oh, absolutely. Some may call it an odd
Так, ну
hobby,
тут
but
ничего не
I'm proud
рассказывает
to
уже.
preserve my people's ancestry. Bye.
I'm Albecius, of the Ducani family. I am privileged to enjoy quite a comfortable life, but I do try to give something back to the less fortunate folk when I can. The Great War took its toll on us, on all Cyrodiil. She may not look so different on the surface, but her spirit writhes in agony. We're quite old and quite influential. When we say things, people, important people, tend to listen. That's not to say that we're the Elder Council, but we don't tend to be ignored either. And that's not to say we don't pick up on new opportunities when we can, of course. Our family must always strive for bigger and better things. Not to sound like a priest of St. Martin. We're quite old
Так, ну
and
всё
quite
то же самое.
influential.
Ага.
When we say things, people,
Это талморцы.
important people,
Here to
tend to
I'm
listen.
proud of my ancestry, as should you be, fellow Nord. Many of them I collected during my adventuring days. I used to wander Skyrim in search of opportunity and adventure. I went through my fair share of Nordic ruins back in those days, and I took a liking to the ancient Nordic metalwork. So, I began to collect them as I adventured, and when I finally decided to settle down, I had quite an extensive stock. It's doing well. A lot of travelers tend to buy from me, as well as young Nords who are soul-searching, trying to find the Nordic heritage here in Cyrodiil. The same reason I sell ancient Nordic artifacts, so that the young Nords here in Bruma can be reminded of their roots. Bruma has all the surface trappings of Skyrim, the snow, the cold, but Skyrim is so much more than that. Something Bruma isn't and can never be. It's about the Nordic ruins dotting the landscape, about the dragon walls. It's about the diversity. Whiterun and the Reach, the Pale and Eastmarch. That variation of Nordic culture is something Cyrodiil doesn't have. I'll be content if my presence here reminds just a few Nords that they're not just Imperials with more facial hair and deeper voices. Why not?
А все, это весь ответ?
As it happens, yes. Ancient Nordic weapons. They're a big chunk of my business, and I'm running low. If you happen to come across any in your travels, I'd pay you well. Excellent!
Так, любых, что ли, Nordic Weapons? Понятно.
If I don't have it, you don't need it.
Ну и что у тебя есть? Да уж. Богатство прям. Деваться некуда от богатства такого. Ну и что, их продавать буду, что ли? Нет. Ладно, забираю, тут таскаю ерунду всякую с собой. Что-то у меня, оказывается, не так много.
Talk to you later.
А ты кто? Стоять?
Hello. Well, my ancestor, Bird, fought alongside the champion of Cyrodiil during the Battle of Bruma. The first Birdson was born after Bird's death. Given his fame and status as captain of the guard, he felt he was worthy of making a name. It's been that way for generations. See you.
I take pride in my
Так, с этой я
potions.
говорил обо всем.
See you around.
Good afternoon. Bye.
И с этим говорил обо всем.
How do you do?
Potions, elixirs, poultices, alchemical wonders.
Good afternoon. What is it? The prey approaches.
You here to do business? The Restful Watchman. Rooms and food, that's what we do. What do you need? There is something, actually. Here, the powers that be at the county castle sent out this bounty letter. Bye.
Ну чё, я не пойму, начинает иссякать, что ли? Поток заданий. Не принимают меня ни в маги, ни в
Always
бойцы.
good to see another customer here at the butcher.
Watch what you say around my wife, Felky. She'll talk your ear off about old fairy tales and legends if you let her. Lots of refugees coming in from Skyrim. Civil war is getting pretty nasty, I hear. There's some bard down at the tavern playing a real awful racket. Hope he leaves soon, or we might just have to run him out of town. Aye, that I am. Married in the true Nord way to my wife, Felky. She might be a little talkative sometimes, what with all her stories of myths and nonsense and whatnot. But she is a good woman. At least I'm not like that, eh? Used to be, yes. I hunted game all over County Bruma, from the Gerals to the Vallis and the south, into Corel. Bagged some pretty impressive beasts in my day. Say, would you like to hear about the time I killed the most monstrous grizzly in all of Cyrodiil? I was out for a normal trek into the wild, and I found these tracks you see. They weren't any ordinary tracks either. They were big, huge, larger than any bear print I had ever seen before, or since. I knew it was foolish to chase after such a monster, especially with the snow coming down as hard as it was. But I just thought of how beautiful its head would look, mounted over my mantle, and I pressed on. It found me on the slopes of Dive Rock, galloping from a copse of trees, faster than an avalanche, its roar louder than thunder. I didn't have time to put an arrow into his heart. I dropped my bow, pulled out my axe, and danced with the beast on that mountain. Fortunately, such a creature is not well suited for hunting on the steep crags of the Gerals. After a little tussle, I sent the beast tumbling off the cliff to its death. Took me nearly a week to find, clean, and haul the carcass back to Bruma. Now it sits above the fire. A proper trophy. Thank you, thank you. I invite you to stop by my home any time to see the beast. But mind the wife. One wrong word and she'll talk your ear off about something or other. Not all of us can be proper, though, I suppose. Sure I can. I was out for a normal trek into the
Так,
wild.
это я все
They
слышал,
weren't
да,
any
не надо, не
ordinary
надо, не
tracks
надо.
either. They were big, huge, larger than any bear print I had ever seen before, or since. Until next
Cut
time.
above the rest. What can I get for you?
Так, ну тут нет ничего.
Fine cuts.
Че-то вышел и сразу в стену уперся, она же довольно далеко от выхода.
What is it? Welcome to the Hall of the Champion, the only museum of the Champion of Cyrodiil in the Imperial Province. While some call it a place of learning, I imagine it as an altar to the Champion's greatness. I offer exclusive tours of the museum with thrilling explanations of the significance of each artifact. Only 20 septims for a fantastical retelling of the Champion's exploits. Thank you for your contribution. Now please, follow me. Oh goody, you're in for a treat. Our tour begins with the prison. The Champion of Cyrodiil was discovered by His Imperial Majesty Uriel Septim VII in the Imperial Dungeon. These are the manacles which the Champion wore. A priceless artifact, I assure you, which I acquired at a princely sum. The Champion was with the Emperor when he was slain by the cowardly assassins of the Mythic Dawn. Such a shame. But without this grave incident, the Champion would never have risen to prominence. This is a cuirass of Kvatch. It's not the actual cuirass the Champion was rewarded for services to the city. But it was touched by the Champion when they brushed by a guardsman on the way in. Kvatch was the first city saved by the Champion during the Oblivion Crisis. They bravely entered the land of Daedra and broke the siege of the city. An ordinary piece of fabric. How could this be interesting? Must be a placeholder. Except it's not! The Champion used this handkerchief to blow their nose while ascending to Cloud Ruler Temple. It was reclaimed by an old merchant during a trip to the ruins north of the city. Can you believe it? The essence of the Champion, preserved for us to see and touch! Touching the handkerchief is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the handkerchief? There you go. Just touch it. Feel your hands caress it. So, what do you think? Yes, from the records I've studied on the subject, the Champion of Cyrodiil had a terrible case of rock joint at the time. Caused them to blow their nose constantly. Anyway, let's move to the next display.
Я не могу, угореть можно.
Ah, now this is a treat. The Sword of Bird, my family's progenitor. Bird was captain of the Bruma Guard and fought alongside the Champion during the Battle of Bruma. Ever since, my family has taken the name Birdson to remember the great warrior from whom we stem. Touching the sword is 50 septims. Would you like to touch the sword? That's right. Feel your hand stroke the metal. Now, what did you think of that? Thank you! I feel much the same way. Unless that was sarcasm? I never quite grasped that. Unlike the sword, I do a lot of sword grasping when I'm bored. Anyway, let's move to the next display. Finally, here we have my most prized possession, the Finger of the Champion. Many say the Champion disappeared after the crisis, but I know better. My theory is that the Champion died following a great battle with a were-minotaur, a vampire, and a unicorn. Before the Champion's body could be lost to the earth, it was carried away by woodland creatures at the behest of Kinnereth. Unfortunately, a band of Khajiit stole the body when it was being carried by a troop of squirrels. Before the body could be lost, an Argonian mercenary... Well, I won't bother you with the whole story. Just a theory of mine. However, if my theory is correct, Then I have recovered one of the last parts of the body, the finger bone, and can present it to you today. The other display cases enclose other items that were owned by the champion. Swords, shields, brooches, silverware, all very exciting. I also sell Champion's Vigor, a potion distilled from the herbs the champion was said to consume each morning. And you can have a portrait painted of you with the champion's finger, but you need to give a week's notice. I hope you enjoyed the tour. Come back if you have any questions about the champion.
Смешно. Ну ладно, достаточно на этот раз. Конец эпизода.